How excited are you for today's video? In today's video, I will be showing you how to make these delicately delicious cinnamon buns. Are you ready for this? Let's see. In the mixing bowl, I will be pouring in half cup of evaporated milk, half cup of warm water, 3 tablespoons of sugar, and 1.5 tablespoons of yeast. Using my spatula, I'm just going to mix that together. Then I will be adding 1 teaspoon salt and 3 cups of flour. This is all-purpose flour. Using my dough hook, I will be mixing this together for about 8 minutes. If you don't have a standalone mixer, you can use your hands. You can use your hands to knead. This would take about 10 to 15 minutes, but yeah, it's very doable because sometimes I like to knead, sometimes I use a stand mixer. Here I'm adding half a cup of melted butter. Let's continue to mix. Don't forget to stop to scrape the sides. At this point, I added a 1/4 cup of water. It's still warm, and I continue to mix. Don't forget to scrape the sides. And then I added another 1/4 cup of warm water. So altogether I used a cup of warm water for this mixture. So I continued to mix, and that was about 8 minutes of mixing in the standalone mixer. And touching the dough, it felt soft and I knew it was done. So I just played with the dough for a little bit on the clean surface, and then I formed a ball. I placed it back in the mixing bowl, covered it with a clean film and a cloth, and I let it sit for 30 minutes. In a small bowl, I'll be mixing 1 teaspoon cinnamon powder, a 1/4 cup brown sugar, and 2 tablespoons butter. This will be used as a spread on the dough. When the time comes, I'm going to show you how I did this, but I just want to mix this ahead of time while waiting for the batter to proof, or sorry, for the dough to proof. So now the dough has proofed after 30 minutes. Here I will be using a rolling pin to roll it to be flat. I was going in for a rectangle, a big rectangle, so just continue to watch as I do this. If you've watched to this point, thanks so much for watching. To all my returning subscribers, you all are the best. I appreciate you. And if you're here for your first time, I am Patience Kinga, creating content on pastries, cakes, and everything in between. So the mixture I made with the cinnamon, the sugar, and the butter, I'll be using as a spread on the dough. This adds a delicious flavor to these cinnamon buns. Then I folded it in 3 halves and pressed it down. I also used my rolling pin to roll it further because you want it to really stick. Yeah, just continue to watch. Please let me know in the comment section if this is something you're going to be trying. Once I was ready, I took my pizza knife and I made about 10 strips. So I first of all marked the 10 markings, and I cut it across using my pizza cutter. When you're cutting, you have to be very careful because again the butter inside is making the dough slippery, so just take your time and do this. Now in each of the strips I divided into 2, but not to the end, because I want to make a design or decorate this. So I just kind of plaited the 2 strips that are divided and I made it into a knot. So just watch as I do this. It's pretty easy, pretty simple. Yep, again I just cut it, but not till the end. I left some space because that was like the beginning of my knot, and I tied it together. Just watch, it's quite easy. Again, you can always do something different. You can always make anything you want to make, but this is what I was going for. If you've watched to this point, again, I am truly grateful. Please, if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Please, let's grow this channel together. Tell a friend to tell a friend that there is an amazing channel that shows you amazing recipes. I was done at this point in time. Before placing them on this baking tray, I'd greased the baking tray with butter because I did not want them to stick. But the best thing is to use a parchment paper on your baking tray. So if you have a parchment paper, go ahead and line your baking tray with your parchment paper. Once I was done, I covered this again with a cling film and with a cloth, and I let it sit for, or let it proof for an hour. You want the dough to rise again. So after about an hour, we will see how it looks like. I always proof my dough in a warm environment, most likely in my oven. This is the dough after an hour. So I took an egg, I cracked it, and I'll be using it as an egg wash over the buns because I want them to bake to golden brown and a beautiful shine. So I'll be using the egg wash because it's going to help to give me that beautiful shine that I want. Yeah, let's continue to do this together. Are you still watching? Please let me know in the comment section. So once I was done with the egg wash, I baked this for about 25 minutes in the oven that had been preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. After it was done, I sprinkled icing sugar on the buns, and this is how it looks like. Amazing. Please, if you haven't watched last week's video, go back and watch. I'll be sharing the link up. Just click the link above to watch the video I made last week of this amazing sponge cake. It tastes way better than a store-bought sponge cake, and it's nice and really spongy. Please do not forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet. Share the video, tell a friend to tell a friend, and I always produce videos every Friday. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget, life can get bitter. Eat cinnamon buns to make it sweet.